ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. Man, so what you think about Eddie Hearn and that purse bid, man? Because everybody's still talking about it.
Eddie walked away from it, bro. He walked away from it early. He decided, he already said he wasn't interested in it. Eddie Hearn has a 3-fight deal. He has a 3-fight deal, 3 to 4 fight. I'm not sure how long the deal is with Jerron Boots bro.
It's a 4-fight deal, so it's 3 fights left.
Right, so I'm not wasting my money on that fight. Let them pay for it. Let them pay for it. Jerron, let's go ahead and defend. Let's not count this fight against me because I don't want this damn fight. You don't want this damn fight, but let's protect the bag. Keep the IBF title over here so we can hold on to our leverage. Yeah, we got to go to Germany. It's a horrible situation, but you know, Eddie's not into the non-profitable fights anymore. That's why he did that with Devin with the Santa Martin situation. Like he's just not into it anymore.
Yeah, I can see that. Adios, grandma.
Muchas gracias por todo.
Mañana. Sí.
Nos vemos, mi amor.
Adios, Telito.
Salute 808.
818. I'm sorry. Yeah, Clay, as soon as we start.
I know it. That's my guy, bro. One day we're going to meet that guy. One day I'm going to say hi to that guy. That's my guy.
Hey, Clay, man, as soon as we start, I've been out here trying to get this internet since 4:10, 10 after 4.
He ain't saying nothing.
I ain't see him the whole time. As soon as we hit go, here he come.
He probably looking at you anything like, salute to your channel, Blue. You know, ice cream cone, you still straight, no ice cream. All right, man, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow.
You can't make this up, man. You can't make this up.
Shout out to the ice cream man. We out here, bro. I support his grind, bro. Get your money, man. Let him know you outside, baby.
Hey, he trying to get free promotion. Who, the fan? I was telling her.
Didn't you understand?
The fan.
Oh shit.
Maya Egypt, peace and blessings, the queen. She in the building.
Hey, Maya.
Lucky Showtime. You're saying 007. Nati 818. Chris Brooks. Kenny Peace 504. Shannon Goddard. Next Level Coach. You saying 007. Randall 700. Mississippi King. Fat and Bankrupt. S Renegade 145. Chuck PC Ville Boxing. Unknown. Joseph Johnson. NC Tyrant Spot. Frank Kafka. Franz Kafka. DVJ 600. What's shaking, my peoples? We in the building, the peopleizations. We in the building.
Shout out to the Choco Taco, the Choco Taco lovers in the nation. Fat and Bankrupt. We know them Choco Tacos be hitting different, brother. Salute to you, King. Them Choco Tacos do hit different. Those Choco Tacos do hit different. Nuke the Duke, Robert Jones, Leo. Salute to all y'all, man.
Hey, yeah, Clay. My wife came to the door right now. Last night she was like, "Well, I want chocolate, so I eat M&Ms. You know what I mean?
Right.
If I want chocolate." So I said, "Yeah, have my M&Ms." So she's like, "No, I want a chocolate bar." So I said, "Okay." So she had a chocolate bar she pulled out. Danetta 27, peace of blessings, queen. So she pulled out the chocolate bar, right? So she ate half of it. Last night, it was just sitting there. I was cleaning up everything. So I was like, I might as well eat the other half. I was gonna throw it in the
dirty guy, bro.
Yeah.
Out of pocket, bro.
Yo, right now she's
out of pocket. That was not there for you, brother. You already knew when you ate it, you out of pocket. Don't try to play innocent. You try to play like, huh? I thought you was done. I ain't gonna even hold you. I thought you was done with the chocolate, bro. If you don't get out of here, bro.
Wait, what you said, dirty guy, dirty?
You had to know there was repercussions to this shit you just did. You knew that was a sign, bro. Who said what? Nah, I thought you was.
Oh man.
I thought you was done with that.
Yeah, she came to the door right now, like, where's my chocolate bar left on the table? I'm like,
damn.
oh. Oh,
Damn
I
insurgents.
yeah.
Them damn insurgents,
Yo,
man. The damn
unreal.
insurgents, bro.
Oh, yo, that's wild. That's
And
wild.
you, David Friedman.
Oh, snap, bro.
He said, them damn insurgents, bro. We got to get the security up. Them damn insurgents, bro.
Unbelievable, bro. So, yeah, man. So, we got 2 possible big fights.
Yeah.
For us, right?
Yes, sir.
Which is, we got Terence Crawford, Fundora in December.
Right.
G Al, what's up, family? Where you been at? Where you been at, bro? So we got Terence Crawford, Fundora, possibly in December. Fundora said that he ain't gonna vacate his belt. He trying to hold on to the belt, and he said that you know, Terence Crawford is the best fighter in the world, but he ain't trying to vacate his belt. And he said if he can't get the Terence Crawford fight in December, then he's going to fight Errol Spence in December. So that lead me to believe, to speculate, right? Or live in my own fantasy world, right? And I said, well, if we get Fundora versus Terence Crawford in December, where does that leave Errol Spence? Right? He said, wife going to 10 peso.
He playing with her, Blue.
Bro. She was like, yeah, you know what I mean? I go get another candy bar when
you better go get it. Don't you act like you got a choice, bro. You know,
that's good.
Stop acting tough on you.
Yeah. So I said, hey, my own fantasy, and I want to get your thoughts on it, right? But my fantasy, my stance would be, well, Vergil Ortiz was looking to fight for the WBC the WBC interim champion, the same position that Errol Spence is looking to do, right? Mm-hmm. Is be the mandatory for the WBC. So if Fundora is going to fight Terence Crawford, they may as well go ahead and fight each other. They've been Vergil Ortiz said he wanted the Errol Spence Fundora winner anyway. That's the route he was looking to go. So they may as well go ahead and fight each other if Fundora is going to fight Terence Crawford. Right? Because it makes sense. It's a big fight for both guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's a winnable fight for both guys stylistically. Right? Errol's style gives Vergil Ortiz the best chance to win against anybody because we seen when he fought Serhaj Boachuk, if you give him any type of movement, right, you in trouble. He in trouble. He just can't deal with movers. He needs you to cooperate. Errol Spence will cooperate. The problem is Errol Spence mastered his cooperation style.
Right.
So that's a problem. Terence Crawford is a different beast. He a different beast. It's a whole different animal. His counterpunch ability, what he was able to do, Vergil can't replicate that. You know what I'm saying? He can't do that. He don't have the ability to do that. So, and there's nobody else that has the ability to do that outside of Jaron Ennis. You know what I'm saying? Or Lubin, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Tim Tszyu, Jamel Charlo, Fundora, those guys gonna be there for Errol. Ain't gonna have to find them. He ain't gonna have to find them. Stylistically, Lubin got the athletic ability and skill set to move around the ring. He can give you so many different looks. He's a southpaw. He rangy. He got power. So Lubin is a problem stylistically for Errol Spence. So is Jaron Ennis and Terence Crawford.
Right.
You know, Fundora obviously is a problem for everybody because he's just
tall, long arms, long legs.
It's just 6'6" with an 80-inch arm reach at 154 pounds, fighting guys 5'8" and 5. He's almost a foot taller than these dudes. So
awkward to say the least.
Bro, Terence Crawford has extremely long arms, and he got a 6-inch arm reach advantage over Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? So just think about that. You know what I mean? Take that into consideration. You know what I mean? And so, but Vergil Ortiz, that's his best chance to get a big win. is to, and no disrespect or slight to Vergil Ortiz. I'm not trying to disrespect that man. I'm not trying to disrespect his skill set or anything. I'm just saying that I'm stating the obvious. Physically, he's physically challenged when it comes to specific styles. You know what I'm saying? And so when you match him up against the likes of Errol Spence, he has to, maybe Errol Spence is not the same. You know what I'm saying? One thing we know, again, Errol Spence, he ain't going to have to look for Errol Spence.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that the problem is Errol moving up to 54 going to have more energy. I believe he's going to be stronger. He had time to rest. He said he had injuries with his eyes that he had to get corrected. He got those corrected. You know what I'm saying? That could be a problem. I mean, the Serhat Boachuk fight, for me, Clay, was very, very telling. I don't know about you, but for me, that was a very, very telling fight, man. I saw some things. I was like, bro, I've been saying this with him and Terence Crawford, and now that fight just confirmed it. You know what I'm saying? Why he didn't want to fight Boots, why he don't want to fight Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence, he always used the fact that they came from the same soil, and you know what I'm saying, and the gym and so on and so forth. So, but in my opinion, Clay, it makes sense. Errol, if we get Fundora versus Terence Crawford, you make yourself the winner, make yourself the mandatory for the winner of the fight. And it's a marquee major fight. Because guess what? Errol don't have an advantage in fighting. There should be no problem fighting in AT&T Stadium because they both from the same place.
Right.
They both from the same place. There's a huge Mexican fan base. Errol has his fan base. It's actually a bigger fight for Errol, in my opinion, fighting Vergil Ortiz. It's a bigger fight for both of them.
It's a better Blue, it's a better fight. The Fundora fight was always, let me tell you, Fundora winning that fight against Tim Tszyu was always a curveball for the division for me. The opportunity that Fundora got by Keith Thurman having that injury and getting put into that position was awkward from the entry of Sebastian Fundora. From the moment he was elevated, coming off of a knockout loss from Brian Mendoza, getting put into a vacated WBC title fight against Serhat Boachuk was already a gift in itself. But Keith Thurman getting that injury, allowing him to go up and fight against Tim Tszyu for a title fight and putting Tim Tszyu in that position, right? I still think that was a mistake on Tim Tszyu's team for them not to have a rematch clause initiated and for them to even take the fight was I celebrate Tim Tszyu for it, but at the same time, damn, that was a bad decision. You went from an orthodox 5'8" fighter who hasn't fought in 2 years in Keith Thurman to a southpaw, 6'5", 80-inch arm reach, towering inferno, right? And Sebastian Fundora. So it was a curveball already. Him winning the title, on top of that, him actually winning that fight with the cut over his head and everything like that, and giving Sebastian Fundora to turn him into a unified champion was going to be awkward for everybody involved in the conversation. Those two people being Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. Him winning it and Errol standing in the ring with him, looking at him to say, "You got the big dog now," was an awkward situation. I still am under the thought process that whole Sebastian Fundora situation, if not Errol Spence, gave his team pause. Like, he's just coming back off a huge loss, a real beatdown. He got kind of dragged, right, by Terence Crawford. And now we're going to put him in. I know he doesn't do tune-ups, but now we're going to put him in the ring with this awkward southpaw, tall, punching, just awkward thing to figure out. I don't think there was ever any motivation from the Errol Spence side of the conversation to make this fight happen sooner than it had to be. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like the pressure was on Samson Leibowitz to put the pressure on Fundora to rematch Tim Tszyu, to give Tim Tszyu an opportunity to put it back in balance, right? Beat this guy because Errol wanted to fight you, and Terence was thinking about fighting you. Wasn't nobody thinking about fighting those 6'4", 6'5" towering inferno. And that's why I think Sebastian Fundora is also in a position to where he's like, well, you know something? Now that the WBC has gone ahead and made Terence Crawford a champion in recess at 147 for the WBC and made him my mandatory now that I have a WBC title, courtesy of Mauricio Suleiman, there's no escaping Terence Crawford. So what am I going to do? Am I going to go ahead and fight Errol Spence, which is what I want to do, but risk losing? and Terence is going to get my WBO title and still be the mandatory for the WBC title, which puts him in the opportunity to get the big payday with Errol? Or do I just go ahead and defend my titles against Terence Crawford? Let's see if we can get him out the way and still be able to come full circle back around for Errol when I feel like it. I think this is chess, not checkers. I don't know personally if I'm expecting Errol Spence to even come back to boxing. Him not fighting Sebastian Fundora makes me a little bit more optimistic, but in my heart of hearts, I knew Errol Spence wasn't fighting Sebastian Fundora, bro. I did not believe it at one bit. There was at one point where I believed that fight was gonna come to fruition. I didn't think his team was gonna allow it, man. Errol Spence was supposed to fight Tim Tszyu, bro. That's what I believe. That's who it was supposed to be. Tim Tszyu lost that title, and it put the whole conversation in a whole different light. Errol already had plans on walking into the ring. That's why he showed up. If he didn't walk into the ring and say that he was wanting to fight Sebastian Fundora, it was going to make him look bad. It was going to make it look like he didn't want to fight Sebastian or he was intimidated. But I think reluctantly he went inside that ring and said, yeah, you got the big dog. Let's make it happen. Errol's not coming back unless it's the right fight. As far as Vergil Ortiz and Errol Spence is concerned, I think that fight is a very realistic fight. I think Vergil Ortiz has suffered from the same thing that Berlanga suffered from, and that's he might have stopped developing because he was getting so many wins. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think Serhiy Bohachuk was a blessing to Vergil Ortiz, the biggest blessing that him and his team could have. To get him challenged that way gives him the incentive he needs, and he was blessed to walk away with the win. You know what I'm saying? Of that lesson, because a lot of people, that lesson comes on the back end of a loss. He got to get that lesson on the back end of a very controversial win, according to a lot of people, and he gets to make the proper adjustments. But yeah, Vergil is the more stylistically favorable fight. Almost, dare I say, Errol, don't get mad at me, a tune-up fight in a Vergil Ortiz who just faced the adversity he just faced right now. So it does make sense. And plus, Vergil is now the interim WBC title holder. So by fighting him, it ensures him once again, puts him right in the conversation to be right there ready for whoever wins between Sebastian Fundora and Terence Crawford. That's what I think.
Yeah. So salute to the Queen, Jay Lynn. She's in the building. AK Crowder, my brother. Brandon McGee, what's up, family? Mr. Lightning, Antonio MMA, salute.
Hey.
So yeah, my thing is, I think that if Terence Crawford doesn't, this all boils down to Terence Crawford right now, right? So if Terence Crawford doesn't accept the fight, I think we're gonna get Errol and Fundora. I don't know if we get it in December, but I do think eventually we're gonna get the fight, just because. When you look at the X-ray of Errol Spence's chest, and you look in that space where it says heart, it's actually a symbol of a dog. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it. You know,
he'll do what he has to do. I agree with you. He won't run away from it. But I still think the situation wasn't ideal. I think it was like
stop for us stylistically. It's like get acclimated. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, for Errol. That's the thing that we love about Errol, right? There's no guessing, there's no thinking. He don't even think about it. Oh, who you want to fight? All right, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? 6 foot. Remember they asked him, how you beat a guy this day? He's like, just chop him down. He's like, break him down like I always do. You know what I'm saying? So Cali World, peace and blessings, Queen. JB said Errol is done, man. But what gives you that indication? Because see, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about it is that Terence Crawford is different. And I don't think that people are understanding just how good Terence Crawford it is.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because just like I said to Lonnie B when he came through, right? When I said to Lonnie B, we got to factor in that was Terence Crawford's first fight at 154, and he started his career at 130, and fought. He ain't do the Pacquiao situation, right? Pacquiao fought dudes at 154 at catchweights. No, he fought a full foot. Even Floyd, right? Floyd had 3 fights at 154. Canelo, which was 152, there was no rehydration clause, so that's the the one guy he fought that was a true 54 pounder.
Right.
Outside of that, Oscar started his career at what, 130, 135. Cotto, same thing. You know what I'm saying? They went up to that weight class just like Floyd did. They just naturally bigger guys, but they moved up to that weight class just like Floyd did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they had some major size advantage over Floyd because they all fought at lower weight classes just like Floyd did. Right? And so and remember who was our great brother that was saying it's a fantasy fight, Terence Crawford and Tank. And I said, that's not a fantasy fight because it's a fantasy fight for you because you don't think Tank can beat Terence Crawford. Because he said, well, Terence Crawford is 47. Well, Terence Crawford actually started his career the same weight class Tank started his.
Right.
He started his career at 130, he became a champion at 135,
right.
140, and 147, and now 154. But he started his career just like Tank at 130.
Right.
Right? So, again, and he's the same height as Shakur. He just got longer arms, Terence Crawford. You know what I mean? He's actually shorter than Devin Haney. But that I digressed, right? So this I'm saying this to say is that he fought Terence Crawford, that is a natural 154 pounder that was awkward, right? And he buckled him a few times, especially in the 11th round. You know what I'm saying? So people got to understand and give Terence Crawford his credit for being how great he is, instead of saying that Errol is done, because Errol broke Yordenis Ugas down. He broke Danny Garcia. These dudes ain't no walk in the park. Yordenis Ugas beat the brakes off Manny Pacquiao. Arguably beat Sean Porter. Right? And this dude, he got an amateur background. Danny Garcia. We know what Danny Garcia represent. You know what I'm saying? So Errol, he beat these dudes. You know what I'm saying? He came across Terence Crawford. Now we like, man, he done. No, just maybe it's Terence Crawford is just that great. The things that Errol Spence does great, Terence Crawford is able to offset it. You know what I'm saying? He's able to, when Errol Spence makes mistakes, he's able to make them pay. Everybody can't make Errol pay for the mistakes that he makes. Everybody can't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't counter him. Because there were some moments that he caught Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford is such, he was so dominant in the fight that you dismissed and neglect everything else that took place. The moments that Errol did have. You know what I'm saying? In those moments that Errol have, he typically overwhelms his opponents.
Right.
They're not able to make that adjustment. When he caught Terence Crawford and Terence Crawford came right back and dropped him the first time.
Right.
Who else could do that?
Right. That's Terence Crawford's greatness and who he is. And I don't know if people are necessarily, I don't know. I can't speak for people, right? But if I were to sway on the side of questioning Errol Spence's return into the space right now as an active boxer, the reason I would sway on that side would be not because he shouldn't have looked the way he did against Terence necessarily. I'm not going to take anything away from what Terence is capable of, and that he was going to do that to Errol Spence one way or the other. But I am going to say that he spent a long time outside of the ring. He has a lot of boxes that we haven't seen checked yet. He hasn't had a tune-up fight. He's no longer with Derrick James. The beating was really bad, right? Like life-changing beating. We just need to see who this Errol Spence is right now. This present Errol Spence, when he comes into the ring, who's he going to be? Does he take up where he left off at right before Terence Crawford, or is this a new fighter? Is he going to even be able to fight the same way and deliver the same type of offense and power and confidence that he did before the Terence Crawford situation? It's a lot of questions that need to be answered. The eye surgery, and also we all got to acknowledge that it seems like on the Errol Spence side of the conversation that there's some sort of reluctance to return. There's something that's causing him to push dates out, to not sign a contract and have something concrete. And I think it affected Sebastian Fundora to the point where Sebastian was like, well, I'm not just going to lose my WBO title for no reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we have a fight, well, let's get the offers put together. Let's get the contract put together. Let's get the dates locked in, and let's have a fight. But if I have to continue to wait for you to let me know when you're ready, well, at the end of the day, let me go ahead and take on Terence Crawford, because it doesn't make any sense for me to be stripped of the titles that I've earned, waiting on you to make a fight that I don't think it's unreasonable to argue. I don't even know if we're going to fight, Errol. From a Sebastian Fundora point, what if we don't even fight? I just vacated my belt on the hopes that you're going to give me a fight. Very similar to a Shakur Stevenson situation to a degree, as far as, do I hold my career up waiting on you to send me an offer, or do I just move on, and have I waited long enough at this point? Errol Spence's return is questionable because he's given us no evidence of his return to boxing. If I ask you right now, who is training Errol Spence? Who's Errol Spence's new trainer? Is it that hard to find a trainer, or could we possibly be dealing with a fighter who's weighing out who he is right now in the boxing space and weighing out when he's ready to come back? He's got a family, beautiful fiance, I guess, getting ready to be a wife at some point, children, made a lot of money, silk sheets. You know how the Marvin Hagler saying goes. It's hard to get up and be motivated and be that same person when you have all of this comfort. You know what I'm saying? That's waiting on you. So at the end of the day, I gotta question it, and I can only assume that fighters like a Sebastian Fundora or anybody, even a Vergil Ortiz, who himself was ready to put his career on hold a little bit as far as fighting Terence Crawford was concerned. Turki was offering him money and said, no, I'm going to wait for the winner between Sebastian Fundora and Errol Spence. But even he started to change his energy a little bit based on the fact that, hold up, are they even fighting? What's happening? A lot of people are waiting on Errol Spence to return, and the longer he takes to come back, the more questionable and the more reasonable questions are going to start to come down the area as far as who and when and where is Errol Spence going to show up in boxing.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of question marks. Jody Howes Jr., brother in the super chat, dropping that cinco on us in the super chat. What's good, Blue? Appreciate the great content. I appreciate you, great brother. Much love. Band up nephew in the super chat. What's shaking with your nephew? He said, Blue, Claymore, fire, great brother, and salute, nephew. Appreciate you in the super chat. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of question marks to be had. You know,
Blue, give me 2 seconds. I'm right here. Just 2 seconds, Blue.
Yep. Do your thing. There's definitely question marks to be had that surround Errol Spence. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know what I mean? But DJ, what's up, family? I just think that we sometimes we overlook the opponent. You know what I'm saying? And we're quick to say, oh, man, this fighter is done. He's washed because he lost to a Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Because 80% of Errol Spence can beat most of these fighters. You know what I'm saying? That version of Errol Spence that night, in my opinion, Mr. Boxing Fanatic, salute. And Mr. Boxing Fanatics, man, I just want to thank you, brother. I want to salute you. What you did yesterday was real. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, brother. You know, and you know, we don't do that no more. Men just don't have that conversations no more. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you saying, hey, bro, what's the issue with me? You know what I'm saying? That's love right there. I respect you, great brother. Salute to you. Salute, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be done, bro. You know what I mean? And I appreciate you, bro. Typically, most people just run to other platforms or comments and so on and so forth. And you know what I mean? Like I said, I stand corrected and salute to you. JB said Blue is not because he lost. It's because it's been 15 months and he hasn't come back yet. Agreed. I understand. Mo Slaught, what's up? Matt Gomez, what's good? Enzo 88, Urban Legree, what's up? I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's a plethora of things, JB. Like it's the layoff, it's the way he lost. You know what I'm saying? You know, facts, Mr. Boston Fanatics, and I stand corrected, great brother. Salute to you. So it's the way he lost. It's the question about the trainer. You know what I'm saying? It's the, all the injuries and the things that he sustained outside the sport of boxing. You put all of those things together, and yeah, that highlights some serious question marks going forward. You know what I mean? JB, I just want to side with, that's just Terence Crawford. That was just a Terence Crawford effect, and I believe Errol Spence will bounce back. You know what I'm saying? And I completely get where you coming from, and I completely get where Clay's coming from, and everybody else that question or say, "Hey, bro, Errol is done." You know what I'm saying? Hacks, what's good? K Muller, what's up? Antonio MMA, what's good? I completely get it, and I completely understand, because there is question marks. I mean, it's the obvious. The Nazim 7, what's up? The obvious is, right? He's been fighting. I mean, he had what? He fought Ugas in 2022.
Yeah, you talking about, we still talking about Errol right now, right? When he
Right.
fought? Let's see.
Yeah. He fought
pretty
Ugas
sure.
in 2022, right?
I'll tell you right now.
JB said he when will he bounce back, Blue? LOL. What year we waiting? We waiting. You right.
The longer he takes, Blue, the more it's hard to argue. You know what I mean? It gets to a point where it's like, let's wait on him to show us what we're going to see. I don't think any Errol is going to be able to be dominant at 154. I think it's going to take a Errol, the Errol that we know, maybe not 100% the Errol that we know, but man, bro, I don't know what you've been up to, brother. We miss you, by the way, Errol. If you're watching, we definitely excited to see you come back, but we don't know who you are right now. Who are you training with? Where are you training? What are you working on? Is it the same game plan? Is it going to be more of a boxer Errol at this point? Is it still the walk you down, cut you down, cut the big tree down with the body shots? And is it that Errol? What Errol are we going to be looking at? Does he have time to assimilate? He's going to get a whole new trainer. He doesn't even have a tune-up fight to assimilate with the trainer properly. I mean, we're talking about a lifetime bond with a Derek James that's been training him ever since he was like, 16, 15 years old, to him just switching that all up, heading into a new trainer's realm. And what is that going to look like? There's just so many different moving pieces to the Errol Spence puzzle right now, right? To the machine called Errol Spence. I don't know how to call it. I know, me personally, as an Errol Spence fan, I do feel better that he's not jumping into the ring with a Sebastian Fundora for his return. I definitely wanted to see him in a better situation, which is why I'm totally with you as far as this Vergil Ortiz situation is concerned. Like I said, I don't be mad at me, Errol. I'm gonna call it a close to a tune-up as possible as we're going to get from Errol Spence to get a Vergil Ortiz, who was exposed in some ways in his last fight, and, probably the weakest link as far as the lowest fight that he probably is willing to take on his return. Because I'm pretty sure if it's not a big enough fight, that he might even entertain retirement just off the strength of that. Like, what am I here trying to prove? I'm not going to fight an Erickson Lubinson. I don't need to fight him. I'm not fighting Jesus Ramos. Shout out to those guys. I'm a big dog. I want big fights. I want big money. I want to be in title contention. I'll fight a Vergil Ortiz off the strength that he has an interim WBC title. It doesn't derail my game plan of being a championship fighter. I'll do that. But anything else is just uncivilized at this point.
And you know what's wild when you say that? Mm-hmm. Because Vergil Ortiz status is bigger than Lubin's and Jesus Ramos, but they're tougher fights for Errol.
100%.
Those are way more tough fights.
Those are why would I take those fights? What the hell am I trying to prove out here? I'm him already. I'm him. I'm not trying to prove nothing. Why would I jump in the ring with those guys? They're going to give me hell. I'm not going to get nothing from it. I'll fight Vergil. He has an interim WBC title. He's showing some holes in his game. I'll do that to make all my fans feel better. Get my tune-up, because I don't believe in no tune-ups. That'll be my tune-up. But after that, I either want to go big or I'm going home, man.
Chris Brooks, Pugilist Shizney, Hacks, Kevin the Truth, Stephen 47, Deuce, Chris Brooks. What's up, family?
Salute, Chris.
Those are just way tougher fights.
Dogs who got everything to win for. They ready to die. They out here trying to make what Errol has already got. Why would I put myself in the ring with those dudes? I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, I think that Vergil, By center with Jay Smith. What's up, family? I think with Vergil, I think that he beats Vergil. Stylistically, when I watch Vergil, I'm like, bro.
If he doesn't beat Vergil, it'll be a good send off. Like, all right, bro, you tried. If you
Right.
can't get through Vergil, don't look at Tim. Don't look at Terence. Thank God you didn't get in there with Fundora. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
Fundora is just one of those fighters. I'm not trying to give him all the props in the world as far as him being like this skillful fighter, but you know what it is. He's a southpaw. He's so tall. He's a puncher. It looks like in his last fight, he was investing more into trying to take advantage of those physical attributes he brings to the ring. You know, he's trying to use his distance more. I would say that he probably is going to credit that game plan to him winning that fight. And that gave his team the vested interest in investing in. Even his sister, Gabriella, all of a sudden, when she's boxing, she's embracing the distance. She's embracing her, you know what I mean? So you could see the camp, the Fundora family has embraced the main thing that Fundora has, which is the heights. They share the attribute of the height, the long arms, you know what I'm saying? And their punches as well. So I expect to see a Sebastian Fundora who's going to be a way more difficult Sebastian Fundora than the one that we saw before Brian Mendoza, before he went to sleep, and more than likely better than the one who fought against Tim Tszyu.
Right. CJ Esperon, D-Boy Dev, what's up, family? Fat Bull 717, what's up? Jay said, y'all sleeping on Vergil. That's dangerous. No.
Yeah.
Rasky Production, what's good? We're not sleeping on Jerron Purtle, Giovanni Walker, Mr. Lightning. What's up, family? Hendo, the fearless one. What's up? We're not sleeping on Vergil. We're saying stylistically, Vergil is a better matchup for Errol Spence and the unknown compared to getting in there with a guy with the intangibles and the skill set of a Fundora who is 6'6" with an 80-inch arm reach, or getting in there with Jesus Ramos, who is what is Ramos? He got to be like 5'11", bro.
He got to be like 5'11", 6 foot even. Let's see who he is.
Yeah.
And also to add to that, by the way, Blue, also these other fighters are way more acclimated to the 154 weight class division. They've been there. So Vergil is still, you know, just had one real fight at 154, and we saw the performance that he had. So it's fair to say, like, you know, that's the more favorable, stylistically favorable fight for Errol.
Mashima Yash, what's up, family? And when you look at Erickson Lubin, who is 5'9", 75-inch arm reach, but has, and a southpaw, and Erickson Lubin has more one-punch knockout power than Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford has more accumulation. You know, he's more precise with his. But Lubin, just when you get hit with one punch from Lubin, bro, he can change the entire night for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget his nickname is the Hammer for a reason. And Jesus Ramos' work rate with his durability, GOJ and Skalil 98, Motown 909, what's up? Jesus Ramos' work rate with his size and his durability, it's hard to keep that type of dude off you. And if he's way bigger than you for your first fight at 154 pounds, you know what I'm saying? Albert Gomez, what's up, family? That makes for a long night for Errol Spence. Stylistically, the matchup for Errol Spence, the better matchup stylistically is Vergil Ortiz, who's fought at lower weight classes. Like Clay said, he's not fully acclimated to 154. You know what I'm saying? He moved up in weight just like Errol moved up in weight. You know what I'm saying? Now
and his build up, his tune up fights or whatever, his fights that he had at those catch weights were not good because he didn't get no time in the ring. They're all first round stoppages, so he didn't really get a chance to really. Serhii Bohachuk was his first real 154 fight. Bottom line, it was his first one.
Right. You know.
And by the way, as far as Jesus Ramos is concerned, he's actually, according to BoxRec, he's standing at like 5'10" with a 72-inch arm reach. So, you know, for whatever that's worth.
But that dude, you see him when he get in the ring, bro, he look like he 200 pounds, man.
He a big guy.
Yo, he looked like he the biggest 54 pounder in the world.
Yeah.
So
80% knockout ratio too. He ain't punching with a lot of bad intentions. Erickson Lubinson wasn't a proper representation of who he was, of who he is. You know what I mean? Right. He's better than that.
Yeah, and his work rate is ridiculous.
100%.
See, what gets overlooked by Lubin, knuckle up, what's up? Salute to Bogart Styles, 1100. Brother in the super chat dropping that cinco. Honest in the super chat was salty at Blue after EJ went down. The internet will get you invested sometimes. Hashtag peace. Team Spence. Salute to you, King. Jesse R, what's up? Fred Holland, what's up? But the thing is, we just seen, I know a lot of people were salty at me, but you just saw two great fighters. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I understood because, and no slight or disrespect to anybody, not you, great brother. What I'm saying to you is that, not you, Clay, I'm talking to great brother. But what I'm saying is that I'm a fan of boxing. So it's okay to be a fan of Terence and Errol. All I was trying to do was get to the fight. And so all of the things that was blocking or in the way that I was addressing was frustrating me because I'm just trying to get to the fight. I don't care who's making more money. I don't care about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to get to the fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And somebody holding up the fight, I'm going to tell you who holding up the fight. Living in America. What's up, family? So, again, Errol Spence is a dog. You know what I mean? Crawford is a dog. It was no doubt. For once in a long time, Clay, we got clarification. We got clarity. We actually had the two best welterweights in the world fight. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
What a night.
They cleaned out their division. They both beat Kell Brook. They both beat Sean Porter. Danny Garcia refused to fight Terence Crawford, but Errol beat Danny Garcia. Manny Pacquiao refused to fight Terence Crawford, but Errol was going to beat him. Errol beats your Dana Sugas, and they did this in dominating fashion. You know what I'm saying? Errol stopped Kell Brook. Errol dropped Sean Porter. Errol stopped your Dana Sugas. He beat Danny Garcia. He beat the brakes off Danny Garcia coming off a 14-month layoff in a car accident. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford, you know, need I say anymore? He knocked out all his opponents. Isaiah Eman, what's up, family? He knocked out all his opponents at 147, right? So for the first time in a long time, we had full Detroit, BC, what's up? We have full clarity at the two fighters that are the best two fighters in their division, bar none. Now, you know, the conversation started to be had about Jerron Ennis, but he was still Johnny come lately. You know what I'm saying? He started to knock on the door as could he beat either one of them, but that's because of his talent. So we got a clarity for the first time, and it just needed to be appreciated. And we still didn't even appreciate it because we appreciated a guy in Ryan Garcia who never fought for a world title, obviously never won a world title, right? We appreciated and supported that fight more financially than watching the best two fighters. That speaks volumes.
Yep.
How did Errol Spence and Terence Crawford underdo both their accomplishments is more than both Ryan Errol Spence's accomplishments more than Tank's. Both their accomplishments is more than Tank's and Ryan Garcia put together. Yet the popularity contest, and we can't say, well, it was excitement, Clay, because Terence Crawford has all knockouts. He was on a 11-fight knockout streak. Errol Spence in all his championship fights, he stopped Ugas for the belt. He stopped Kell Brook for the belt, and he dropped Sean Porter for his belt. He broke Ugas' nose, ribs, and orbital bone. I mean, like,
changed his whole career. He ain't never been the same. He went and got it, and then Mario went and did it. Like he pretty much ended Ugas' career. Ugas never recovered.
And this is what I'm saying. So we can't say, well, Tank is exciting. How he's more exciting than Terence Crawford and Errol Spence? No, because the thing is, Rodriguez Jackson TV, what's up? Warrior Class the Third, Andrew Thomas, what's good? The thing is, they did it against the highest level,
right?
So we 100%. Can't say, Kenneth Neal, what's up? We can't say they're not exciting. It's a popularity contest. This guy's more popular than that guy, and so financially, they supported that more than they supported that. And guess what? The fight lived up to the hype.
Didn't it?
It lived up to the hype. It was an exciting fight.
The best night of boxing of 2023. Like that was the best. That night did not let down. Not let down.
And here's the thing, right, Clay? It ended in a knockout, in excitement.
Craziness.
So we can't say
my wife is a Terence Crawford fan based off of that. My wife, I had my whole family in the living room watching that fight, and my wife, all of a sudden, she'll tell you in a second, she calls him Terry. You know what I'm saying? She loved that fight was brought fans in. I think fans who saw that fight, any casual fan, you had a lot of casual fans cross over into boxing that night.
Mm-hmm. But here you had a guy in Ryan Garcia. They do 1.2 million pay-per-views, $23 million gate, and Ryan they never did nothing in the sport.
That's that social media following, the following he has. He had a lot of casuals follow him into it. You know what I mean?
Popularity contest. Big Hearn, my brother in the super chat. He said, "Did Victor spark out Errol, making retirement soon?" Huh?
What? Yeah. Do Victor? You talking about Vergil?
Oh, do Vergil spark out? No, I don't believe so. Man, what's up, kid? I don't believe so. Bless to the beautiful Karma. Queen, Karma Serene. She's in the building. What's up with you, Queen? I'm about to say Queen.
Karma, is your name Serenity? Is that her name, Serenity?
Serene.
Her real name is Serene? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Muscle up, Kev. What's up, family? So, yeah, man, I don't think he sparks out Errol, Vergil Ortiz. I mean, anything is possible. He got power, Vergil Ortiz. Let's not. Sorry how Boachuk, he just showed a bid on him, didn't he? Or you replaced it?
I don't know if he, it's like these fighters, Blue, like, that's why I say fighter development is so important. The matchmaking is such an important thing in these fighters' careers. A lot of these fighters don't work on things unless they think they need to work on things. You have some fighters that stay well-rounded no matter what. They staying ready, so ain't got to get ready. When you look at Terence Crawford and Israel Madrimov, for example, Terence Crawford had to make a last-minute adjustment, right? He admitted, like, women, we prepared for a different Israel Madrimov. We didn't think Israel was going to come the way he did. When he did, Terence had to make an adjustment and still come out on the other side of that fight as a winner against somebody who's, 350 plus amateur fights, a great fighter in Israel Madrimov. People aren't going to give him his flowers until he does it again somewhere else because people are watching him now. But another fighter would have potentially been exposed in that situation because a fighter like Vergil Ortiz or Edgar Berlanga, these kind of fighters, or even I don't want to say Gary Antoine Russell because he was kind of almost exposed a little bit dealing with Alberto Puello with the way that fight went out. But it seems like these fighters get comfortable in what's working for them. And the matchmaking makes a difference, right? Because if you're not properly matchmaking them in a way to where, not that necessarily they're going to lose, but
so that man, Clay.
That's my guy. Salute to my guy. Matchmake them in a way to where they're being developed, where they're getting better each fight, where they're meeting new challenges. You're going to see them get exposed in a big show. Edgar did that, right? He started his career with like 16 knockouts. I don't remember what the number was, first round knockouts. Vergil was also having that happen to him. And then on his return at 155 doing those catchweight fights, he was stopping those guys in the first round. One guy with a body shot, another guy with an early stoppage, which I didn't necessarily agree with. But still, it didn't give him time to acclimate to the weight class and for him to get better. Then he gets in the ring. He steps up his competition exponentially by getting in the ring with a Serhii Bohachuk, and we see him get exposed. Like I said, he was blessed to walk out on the other side of that fight, that 12-round fight, with a victory. He gets a chance to work on those things. I want to see what him and Robert Garcia are able to put together now that they both had that lesson. But, these fighters, once again, just not developing properly because of the matchmaking. That's another thing. I don't want to segue, but that's kind of like what Turki brings to the table a little bit, is no more protective custodying these fighters and giving them these perfect stylistic fights that give them the opportunity to showcase the best version of themselves for the crowd and not challenge them, forcing them to get better.
Mm-hmm. Warrior Class the third, brother in the super chat, dropping that quarter of a hundo on us in the super chat. Salute Blue and Clay. He said, question on Spence and understanding recovery takes time, but why isn't the same argument said about one time to no time Thurman? He's one banded aid. He's one Band-Aid bicep excuse away. Should Thurman hang up the gloves? Salute the Warrior Class the Third. See, here's the thing about Keith Thurman that differs from Errol Spence, right? Warrior Class the Third. Here's the difference. Here's what differs. Is Keith Thurman is telling us he has these injuries, and we're not seeing any proof of it, and he's just disappearing. Where Errol Spence, we know, we saw the car accident, we know he had the eye injury. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can see the physical ailments with Errol Spence, right? And the proof with Errol Spence is his get back, as we know, is never a tune-up. So we know the only thing holding him out the ring when he tell us he's injured or something is that he's actually injured and can't compete. Keith Thurman was saying, well, I was holding off the Errol Spence fight. I was trying to, I was trying to make this. I was trying to do that. I was, I was the Errol Spence fight was my Pacquiao Floyd fight. Terence Crawford, the WBO belt. I don't even acknowledge that belt. That's not even a real belt. So all of these things, Billy Jackson, what's good? All of these things lead up to, we don't believe you, Keith. Keith told us that he was injured. He couldn't compete. Then he pops up in, where was he? Saudi or Dubai or India, slap boxing the locals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Getting married. Keith Thurman competed 3 times in 7 years. Since he unified Clay, since he beat Danny Garcia in March of 2017, he has fought 3 times. We going into 2025. He fought Josito Lopez, Manny Pacquiao, then he disappeared again. Came back for Mario Barrios. We ain't seen him since.
Right. Yeah. Keith is one of those careers that I remember when Keith was the guy in the welterweight division. I really do. I really remember when he was that guy, and
he was the best welterweight in the world.
Yeah, man. He was 1 belt shy of becoming undisputed champion, and then he had that elbow injury, and he came back.
No. He only had 2 belts.
He didn't have 3?
No, he had WBC and the WBA.
Oh, hold on. He beat Danny Garcia, right?
Yeah, for the WBC.
WBC. Then he beat who did he beat? Did he beat, was it Sean? No, Sean. He beat Sean, but not for no belt. He defended his belt against Sean Porter.
He beat Sean before he fought Danny.
Right. Okay, so I thought he was going to be an undisputed champion. I'm not going to lie to you. At one point, I was like, yo, Keith is that guy. I remember him. But when he came back off his surgery, it's like he had a whole different mindset. When he cut the ponytail, right? When the braids in the ponytail went away, Keith turned into this like guy who was like overthinking and scrutinizing every opportunity. And he always seemed to be working in the direction of a retirement. Like everything he did, you didn't know if you were going to see him fight again. He just made it look like he was in that part of his career where he was just trying to get the biggest fight because he was on the way out the door. I think his mind state acclimated to that person, and he has no motivation to fight. Keith doesn't show enough motivation to want to stay active for me to involve him in any serious conversation at 154 or 147. He doesn't care about being active as much as he does the money, and he's only coming out for the right amount of money. So yeah, I think when you start to have that mind state, you're in a mind state that's going to leave you vulnerable to some bad things, especially at 154, which I'm assuming is where he's at right now, that he wants to be at 154. It's bad news up there. The division is too packed with talent. I think he realizes it. And yeah, to make a long story short, I do think it's about time for him to start considering retiring. I think it's real dangerous at 154. It's not the same as 147. There's a lot of big punches up there, and there's a lot of skillful fighters out there lurking in the water. And for you to take somebody else's money opportunity, you're going to have to beat somebody big to get into the biggest fights. They gave you a chance with Tim Tszyu. I don't think PBC gives you that chance again. They're going to put you in there with somebody real dangerous.
Yeah, he had he had the WBC WBA. Kell Brook had the IBF, and Errol won the IBF. Then Manny had the WBO.
Manny had the belt. That's what it was.
Yeah, Manny had the WBO. Then he lost it to Jeff Horn, and Terence Crawford beat Jeff Horn.
Right. Yup.
Yeah.
Because I remember they were stripping him of his titles.
Yeah. So Manny had the WBO. He lost to the Jeff Horn. Because Manny won the WBO from Tim Bradley, I think. And then, yeah, he won it from Tim Bradley, if I'm not mistaken. And then Jeff, then he defended against Jeff Horn, lost to Jeff Horn. And then Keith beat Danny. Errol beat Kell Brook. And then, remember, Keith had 3 belts. Child, please, what's up, family? Travion Dutrail, what's up? Keith had 2 belts. He had the WBC, WBA, and then Errol, he beat Danny in March. And Errol beat Kell Brook in May. And then Errol was like, let's unify, me and Keith. That's when he started pressing Keith, heavily from that point forward. Let's unify the belts. What are we waiting for? And Keith kept pushing him to the side. And then the worst thing that happened with Keith Thurman, because remember Keith Thurman was trying to fight Manny Pacquiao.
Right.
But then Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao. Then Keith Thurman was trying to fight Jeff Horn. But then, remember, then Terence Crawford petitioned the WBO to beat Jeff Horn mandatory. And then they gave it to him, and then he beat Jeff Horn, and Keith was like, man, I don't respect that belt.
Yeah, and that's where he got the beef. That's where the beef comes with the WBO.
Yeah, because the thing was with Keith Thurman, the problem was you was trying to fight Pacquiao for the belt, then Pacquiao lost. Then he was trying to fight Jeff Horn, and then Jeff Horn lost. And then as soon as Terence Crawford got it, the belt, he didn't respect the belt. He didn't acknowledge the belt. Ahmad Ali, what's up? A beautiful day there. The queen, she's in the building. What's up with your queen? Salute to Warrior Class the Third, brother in Super
Give
Chat.
me 2 seconds. I'm gonna be right back. I just gotta. It's gonna take my presence to get this right. I'll be right back.
Yep. Warrior Class the Third, brother in the Super Chat. He said, like Samson, the strength was in my hair. Yep. Facts. Alex, what's up, family? Guillermo Maldonado, what's up? Yep, the strength is in my hair. I'm like Samson, my strength is in my hair. And then Keith never came back. Cortez Bowl, what's up? So the problem with Keith Thurman is that he was like, yeah, I want to get that Manny Pacquiao fight. Then Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao. Then he was like, he wanted that Jeff Horn fight because it was easy route. Then Terence Crawford got that WBO belt. Always loaded. What's up, family? Then Terence Crawford got that WBO belt. And once Terence Crawford got that belt and Errol had that IBF, Keith ain't never been the same. Ain't that a shame? The moment that Errol got his hands on the IBF and Terence got his hand on the WBO, Keith Thurman was never the same. He disintegrated to the back of the line. Oh, happy birthday to the beautiful queen. A beautiful day. It's her birthday. Peace and blessings to you, queen. Happy Earth Day to you. Blessings to you, queen. Happy Earth Day. Big Virgo energy. Quincy Lewis, what's up? Wait, I just joined, so Spence got a fight. No, so I was just hypothetically speaking and saying what I would like to see Spence do, because Fundora now said that Fundora just said now he's saying City Boys, what's up? Fundora saying that he not gonna vacate the belt to fight Errol. He gonna fight Terence Crawford in December. So I'm like, well, where does that leave Errol Spence? Jerome Bland, what's up? Because Errol Spence is going the WBC route, right? So I said, the most logical fight would be him and Vergil. Why? For multiple reasons, because Vergil is the WBC interim champion, so they both chasing the same belt. Not to mention they have history, and they both are from that Dallas area, right? They came up in the same gym, and so you put them at AT&T Stadium. Errol was already looking to fight at AT&T Stadium. So, in my opinion, you put Vergil in, who's from that same area and who's a big name and has the Mexican fan base. I mean, that's just a match made in heaven for both guys. It should just fit like a glove at that point. They
100%.
you put Errol versus Vergil at AT&T Stadium. Come on.
100%. It's what they were looking for in the Sebastian Fundora fight without Sebastian Fundora.
Right. And
It's bigger
on
than Sebastian Fundora.
And on top of it, Day, it can't miss. There's no way that's not Shamika Jackson, peace and blessings, Queen. How you feeling, beautiful Queen?
That's fireworks.
Lee Jackson, what's up, family? So it's like I said, how could this miss? There's no way this is not at least top 3 fights for fight of the year once it's over. Ain't no way.
100%, brother.
Ain't no way. Their styles call for it. If
Vergil's just got involved with a fight of the year with Sergey Barchuk. He's an exciting fighter, bro.
If you thought Sergey Barchuk and Vergil was an exciting fight, take out Barchuk and put Errol, because see, Barchuk don't have the athletic ability. So he was just what made that so fight what made that so interesting is that he was just consistent with the same old, you know what I'm saying, style, right? It was nothing different. Man, Errol giving angles. Oh man. A beautiful day that she said Blue got the baddies in the building. Yeah, that's why they don't like me, Queen. That's why they don't like me. That's why they don't like me. It's your fault. It's your fault.
You like that new dude who comes into town. They hate the dude that getting all the shorties in town, bro. You got to watch your back.
Yeah. They do me like old boy from Belly.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
They like this. I'm gonna have to drop a dime on this dude.
I'm gonna drop a dime on this dude. I don't like that.
They ain't like that at all. I don't like that at all. You know what I'm saying?
Eating a banana in the most suspect way.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to drop a dime on this
him. Oh yeah, we're gonna drop a dime on him.
Right.
Get him up out of here.
G tatted up nephew in the building. What's up, family? So you put that in Texas, it's going to sell.
Yeah.
You can't lose. It's going to make money. It's going to sell.
Super winnable.
You can put it on pay-per-view. You can put it. The ticket prices at the arena can be, I don't want to say whatever, but they could be fairly high. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just a match made in heaven, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like it. It makes sense to me.
And
it makes sense to me.
And you can build up the undercard.
Oh yeah.
You could put the perfect undercard for that fight. Salute my brother, Real Boxing Facts. Big Rich is in the building. That's my brother in real time. What's up with your family? Salute. Go subscribe to my brother, Real Boxing Facts, and opinions. My brother, Big Rich, man. We got my brother, Big Hearn, in the building. In the
Shout out Big Hearn. Shout out Big Hearn with the big 50 piece.
Facts. Salute Big Hearn in the super chat, dropping that half a $100 on us in the super chat. He said, big ups to Blue and Clay. Who will run the welterweight division going forward if Boots is done there? Looks like a lack of dog in those guys there at 147 if they're hard challenge in their way. If there's a hard challenge in their way. Also, Vergil might smack Errol. Errol face still puffy. Yeah, he said he might smack him. Me personally, I think I would have to give the edge to Brian Norman because he's the most versatile. Right? Mario Barrios, you know what you're gonna get from him. Stadium owners, you know what you're gonna get from him. The person that has the most room to grow and add to their game and their style is Brian Norman. So, and if they dragging their feet on unifying the belts, they're gonna give him time to grow and give him time to get more confident. So he has the most potential. Mario Barrios is who we know. That's it. What we see from him is what you get. He ain't gonna get better. Ain't nothing gonna change with him and Stanionis. You can see a completely different version of Brian Norman from fight to fight because he's only 23 and he's athletically gifted with power and he's committed. He's committed. He ain't out partying. He ain't out drinking. He live a fighter's lifestyle. He's only 23. He's big. He's strong. He can add to his game. You know what I'm saying? Where Mario Barrios is he is who he is. And so is Stanionis. They're not going to get faster. They're not going to get stronger. They're not going to become suddenly Shakur Stevenson on defense or Tank Davis with one-punch knockout power or Devin Haney jab or Terence Crawford counterpunch ability. They are who they are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Brian Norman can add to his game. He can suddenly be, hey, bro, when this dude started practicing defense, he's only 23. Just to give you guys an example.
Interesting conversation. I think it's interesting. I don't know yet if I'm with Brian all the way as the best yet. I don't know. Yes, but
well, I'm saying out of the 3 champions, he has the most potential for growth in the future.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because you look
but
at
who's
this,
who's presently the best welterweight?
Presently, I say they got to be equal because I don't see
Mario
one fight.
Him, right?
They all 3 are equal. Because at any night, I'm going to favor Brian Norman based off of potential in every fight. Because there's what is there for me to say Barrios beats Brian Norman? Or what is there for me to say Stanionis beats Brian Norman? What have they done? You know what I'm saying? Like their styles. Keith Thurman showed us and Tank showed us when you box Barrios and counter him, we see what the results can be. And when you watch the Butev fight with Stanionis, he started to look like he was starting to break at one point. Like he almost, Christian Vargas, what's up, family? He started to look like he was getting ready to, if there was 4 more rounds, he might have packed it in. You dig what I'm saying? So, and to give you an example, right, Claire, what I'm trying to say, if you look at Canelo when he fought Floyd and look at Canelo now, he look like a completely different fighter.
Right.
He still can't beat Floyd, but you see the growth. And he's limited. He got slow feet. You're never going to have faster feet. If you got slow feet, you got slow feet.
Right.
But you see growth and maturity. Like Terence Crawford at 23 when he fought Brettis Prescott to Terence Crawford when he fought Errol Spence. Or I won't even say Errol Spence. I'll say from Terence Crawford when he fought Brettis Prescott to Terence Crawford when he fought Julius Ndongo. He looked like a completely different fighter.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And he needed those fights. He needed the Gamboa fight to wake him up. He needed the Hank Lundy fights, and you know what I'm saying? And that's where Brian Norman is right now. And we can see the potential. So
100%. The potential is 100% there. Facts.
Right. So his potential. Salute to my brother, Big Rich, Boxing Facts, in the building, in the super chat, dropping that dub. On your boy Blue in the super chat. He said, love you, Blue. IG at Real Boxing Facts. Yes, sir. Go subscribe to my brother, Big Rich, Real Boxing Facts, man. That's my brother in real life, man. Hey, man. Hey, fun fact, not to change the subject. Bro, we when we was in LA, we spent we spend the whole time together whenever we travel. So, man, Rich, we was eating so good that it got to, hey, Rich, what day was that? But it was like, I want to say like Thursday. Rich was like, man, ain't nothing but salads from here. I'm just going to eat once a day, and it's just going to be a salad. I said, Rich, he said, man, we've been eating today. I need to cleanse. Bro, we was eating good for 4 days, bro. We was eating hard, right?
Bro, no restriction. Let me get 2 of those. Let me get 2 of those.
We was eating, we kept eating at this spot called Grits and Waffles with a Z. Grits with a Z and waffles with a Z. Bro, the food is so good, man. And then we was going to a Thai place and eating there and eating seafood. Man, we was eating so good, man, every day. Rich was like, bro, he was like, bro, this is the last meal. He had 1 chicken tender, right? He had 1 chicken tender left. I said, Rich, you gonna eat that too? He was like, nah, man. I'm gonna take this home. This is gonna be my meal for the rest of the day. I said, what? One tender? You gonna take one tender home? And he was like, that's it, bro. I'm gonna get a slice of bread to eat with this last tender. I ain't eating no more. I said, bro. I said, not possible, bro.
Listen, bro. Yeah, I feel him, bro. You get to that age and you start becoming conscious of that shit.
Yo, Clay, wait, though, Clay. When he said that, bro, it was only like 11 o'clock in the morning.
He probably was thinking about it all night, bro.
I'm like, bro, we got the whole day. We got we ain't even start working. We got the whole day left. He's like, bro, I gotta cleanse my body, bro. I was like, I ain't mad at you, bro.
That boy was up all night thinking about it. Like, this has been a stupid week. I've been ignorant as hell this week. Tomorrow I gotta wake up with a new attitude.
Man, listen, man. Man, listen. And guess what we did? Went right back to that Thai spot that night.
I bet you did, bro. He had to get away from you. He had to get away from you. You the problem. You was the common thread. I gotta get away from Blue, bro.
He couldn't. We was stuck together, bro. Cortez Bowles, my brother in the super chat, dropping that cinco on your boy Blue in the super chat. Appreciate you, King. Salute Cortez Bowl back in the super chat, dropping another cinco on us in the super chat. When Bud was undisputed, didn't he have a choice on what champions he could face and choose the weakest? When he was undisputed, Terence Crawford, once he became undisputed, he left the division. Once he beat Indongo, he left, and once he beat Errol Spence, he left. So he never stayed, he never stayed around to go fund me. What's up, family? He never stayed around to defend the titles or anything. So Jeff Hemfield, what's good? Scorpio 1176, what's good? So he never stayed around to be in a position where he had to make a choice. He left the division. There was nothing else for him to do. The only guy at 147, at 140, would have been a guy for him to fight. Would have been. Oh, you saying when he came up from 40 to 47, he had a choice. He had a choice. Where, because I know people who said that the Errol Spence fight, right? Because he could have chose the route of Errol Spence. He could have chose the route of any one of the champions. But the only person politically that wasn't going to stop him from fighting him immediately was the WBO and Jeff Hearn. They wasn't going to stand in the way. I don't think Errol Spence would have stood in the way with the IBF. But I think that, if I'm not mistaken, Errol was going to have a defense. So he was going to have a fight in between that. Keith Thurman wasn't trying to fight him, and neither was Danny Garcia. No, Keith had already beat Danny. Wait. When
Bud came up, Keith already had beat Danny.
He already beat Danny, right?
Yep.
So Keith wasn't going to fight him. So it was only Errol. Oh, it was Pacquiao. That's right. He was trying to fight. That's right. That's what happened. So the WBO route, when he petitioned, okay, because I'm like, why did he choose Jeff Hearn? But when he petitioned the WBO, Pacquiao was the champion. So he petitioned the WBO to fight Manny Pacquiao. So people say, well, he chose Jeff Hearn over fighting Errol Spence, which is not true. He actually chose Manny Pacquiao over going the route of Errol Spence. That's what he did. And then Manny Pacquiao, he was the WBO challenger. Hola. What's up, family? He was the WBO challenger, mandatory. Before then Manny Pacquiao lost. Remember? And then it was like Jeff Hearn inherited him as the mandatory, but he was petitioning WBO to fight Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? And then it just ended up being Jeff Hearn. Yee Huncho, what's up, family? What's up, nephew? But remember, Bob Arum was on record saying he didn't want to make the Pacquiao fight.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to see Pacquiao get hurt from Terence Crawford. So he was on record saying that. So it was what it was.
Early.
It was what it was, man. So that's why he chose that route. Warrior Class of Third. My brother in the super chat dropping that half a dub. I want to send a super chat. What excuse will be made if Errol loses again? Ready or not ready? Errol might end up looking like Too Sweet from the Penitentiary 2 movie. Like I said before, just saying. Yo, that's one of my favorite movies, bro. That's one of my favorite movies. But if Errol loses, he just lost. I mean, to me, I never had no excuse to begin with. Right. You know what I mean? Erica Crawford, peace and blessings. The queen is in the building. Miss Crawford is in the building. Blessings, queen. She said Fundora getting knocked out by the 5th round. He tall and got long reach, but Crawford is king of this era. Yeah. Hood Rich, what's up, family? Great Gambino, what's up?
What's good? What's good, Rich?
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite movies right there. But what's your? Let me ask you this too, Clay. I want to ask you 2 questions, right?
Yeah.
How do you see the Errol Spence, Vergil Ortiz fight going on? Well, I want to ask you 3: Errol Spence, Vergil Ortiz, Crawford and Fundora, and after that, then I want to talk about Boots and Israel Majamov and what you think about that fight.
Great fight.
Brutal, what's up, family?
I'm gonna go. Let's go with the Errol Spence Vergil Ortiz fight. I think it's a fight there for Errol to win. I think the Errol that I remember should be able to beat Vergil Ortiz. Although Vergil Ortiz is a puncher, in my opinion, stylistically, also is a good fight for Vergil as well, because he was using a lot of angles and doing a lot of boxing and bringing that Eastern European.
1 second, great brother. Blessings to the queen. Well, that's strong. Peace and blessings, queen. Go ahead, great brother. Man, I'm about to call you Kurt, bro.
That's a compliment, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Shout out to rest in peace to him, man. I think it's stylistically a fight that's there for both of those guys to make a very exciting fight. Without a doubt, a very exciting fight between both of those guys. The Errol of old, I think, handles Vergil Ortiz. This version of Errol, I don't know what to expect. It's hard for me to call it, man. I just can't confidently say that he beats Vergil Ortiz right now. I know he can beat Vergil Ortiz. I think Vergil Ortiz has had an opportunity to have a very career-defining experience against Serhiy Bohachuk. I know some people look at it like he got exposed. I look at it like it's an opportunity. It was a lesson that he got to learn, and he got the better half of that lesson, which is still being able to walk away with a victory. So I expect to see a way better Vergil Ortiz. I saw also where people say he got exposed against Serhiy Bohachuk. I also saw Vergil doing some boxing in that match. He was moving around a little bit. I think he started off with the wrong game plan against Serhiy Bohachuk. He showed towards the end of that fight that he could box, move around, move his head, score, win rounds, not necessarily always be headhunting. I think they'll build on that. Robert Garcia and then those guys over there will build on that, and I think that'll be something to see Errol Spence kind of deal with. I don't know who to pick. I think it's a 50-50 fight right now, in my opinion, with those guys. I definitely don't lean towards Errol. I'm just not comfortable yet. I haven't seen anything from him. As far as Terence Crawford and Sebastian Fundora is concerned, clearly I expect Terence Crawford to win this fight, to find a way to win. You know, Terence Crawford is one of those special fighters where you might not necessarily see how he's going to win. But one thing with Terence Crawford that I've learned to be is very confident in his ability to prepare and be ready for whoever he's in the ring with. He's going to adjust. He's going to make the proper preparations. He doesn't sleep on anybody. I expect him to be defensively sound. I expect him to probably walk Sebastian Fundora into something bad. To maybe also test Sebastian Fundora's patience, because he's the type of guy who will leave his game plan alone if he's tested and turn into that slugger and start trying to fight on the inside way too long. I think if he does what he did against Tim Tszyu, that he's going to probably get stopped. When? I don't know. It may. I think it will be a stoppage though between him and Terence Crawford. And then what was the last one you said you was going to talk to me about?
I wanted to talk about that. What you think about Majamov and Boots? If they was to fight.
Great fight. I think Boots Ennis right now is in a chapter in his career to where he's going to meet some of the biggest challenges that he's ever had at 154. And I think we're going to see a more disciplined Boots. We're going to see we're going to get to see Boots be the boxer that I believe he is, that his father professes him to be. I think Israel Madrimov goes back to the old style of fighting. I don't think he fights Boots the way he fought Terence Crawford, because the way he fought Terence Crawford was real, like it threw everybody for a curve. The old and fake, all that twitchy stuff. I don't think he does that with Boots. I think he might have a bad taste in his mouth with the win that he got against Boots. If the fight is here in the States, he's not trying to go to the judges. He's trying to dominate. And Boots is also trying to make a statement himself about who he's going to be in the 154-pound weight class division. I see Boots stopping Madrimov. That's what I see. I see him stopping him.
You think he's going to stop Madrimov?
I think he stops him. I think he stops him late rounds. I think Madrimov tries to fight like Triple G. I think that the way he fought Terence Crawford is not the way he fights. I think he did that because I think he was really kind of like intimidated by Terence Crawford, by the aura and the pound for pound status that Terence Crawford brings in the ring. And I think if he could go back, he'd fight Terence Crawford differently, which is why I think he wants that rematch so bad. I think he would fight Terence Crawford differently, and I think the way he would fight Terence Crawford the second time around, he gets stopped by Terence Crawford as well.
So okay, so you think that Boots knocks him out based off of the fact that he'll be more aggressive and open himself up?
I believe he'll be more aggressive, and I believe he'll try to take advantage of what he might perceive to be the smaller Boots coming up from 147. He might try to, I think he tries to correct the mistakes he thinks he made against Terence Crawford on Jaron Boots Ennis. And I think that'll be a big mistake for him. I think Jaron can be a way more devastating puncher than Terence. He can be that. And I think that Terence also stops him if they do the rematch. I think he changes his style and goes in the wrong direction and gets stopped. Yep. Both ways.
What you think about Norman saying that he's not Boots is not a big puncher? He don't think he punches as hard as people make him out to be.
Brother, when it comes to this Brian Norman conversation, respectfully to this man and his son, I have respect for them. I think that they have a lot of good qualities as a boxer, as a trainer boxer duo. But I ain't gonna lie, man. Shout out to that guy. I just think he's talking too much, bro. I think he's he's staying in this conversation way too long for somebody who's not taking the fight that was in front of him. For somebody who's not willing to concede hardly no more. He's not trying to concede no more money. For somebody who's supposedly at peace with where his son is at, fighting 3 times a year for mid to low six figures a year, who's made the argument that, that they're not what's the word he said, peasants, and that he doesn't need this Boots fight, and Boots is the one who has to push this fight forward. He's the one who should concede and do all these things. Why are you still talking about this fight? Why are you still talking about this fight? Why is Jaron Boots Ennis in a purse bid with Karen Kukadajian? Why are you getting ready for a fight that you already have?
Hold on. What's his name, Clay?
I tried, damn it. I'm better than you, first of all. Don't even start me, bro, because you will be going left. I'm closer than you. You ain't gonna do that to me. I'm closer. Kukadajian, something like that. It rhyme with it. It rhyme with that. It rhyme with Kukadajian. I promise you, it rhyme with that, dog. I don't know what it is exactly, but it rhyme with that. But yeah, it rhyme with it. I bet you when we look at it right now, I bet you it rhyme. I bet you it rhyme with it. You know what I'm saying? I bet you it rhyme with it. It sounds something like that. Kukadajian.
Who said that should be a last name is ridiculous, bro.
Ridiculous. I'm going shout out to my co-host Ray Davis who gave me the jogging. Bro. He said it's like a jogging at the end. So I always make sure I put the jogging there. I don't know how the first half go, but I know the second half is jogging. I know he jogging. Yo. And we've seen him jog, so it kind of fits him when you think about it. But anyway, that being said, you're not getting involved in this fight. You've let this fight go. You're about to fight somebody else on an undercard of Keyshawn Davis. You're not talking about that guy. You're still trying to apply pressure to somebody who can't even fight you now, being that the purse bid has started with Karen Kukadajian, right? So what are we talking about? It is starting to become a little bit cringe. It seems like you're clout chasing a little bit, respectfully. I don't know what the purpose is. I don't know what the purpose is. Boots seems like he's going to 154. 147 doesn't seem like where he's going to be competing anymore. So now at this point, the Ennis team has every reason to start taking it personal. Like, now, dog, you just talking crap. We're not even fighting. This was supposed to be about boxing. We know we ain't boxing no more. What are you talking about at this point? So how do I feel about him saying that Boots punches? I think you clout chasing. I think that's ridiculous. I think any one of us who's seen Jerron Boots Ennis fight ain't jacking none of that stuff you're talking about right now. And it's starting to creep over from respectable boxing banter. It's starting to creep over from competitive talk to clout chase talk. That's what I think.
I think that is I think that they're just trying to show justification and clarity to their situation. You know what I'm saying?
But what more justification can they do? Blue, at the end of the day, people at this point think what they think, right? A lot of people just think that you outprice yourself. You're not going to convince them. You go on Mill, shout out to Mill. You go on Mill City's channel and you say you don't care about what nobody says. These guys don't know about the business about boxing. You said dudes is on welfare. They ain't got no bread. They don't know about making no money. You got the big house. You don't listen to nobody, right? You don't listen to nobody. You don't need no money. You don't need Boots for nothing. You don't need Boots. Boots needs you. So why are you operating as somebody who's still trying to chase a fight down that's not there anymore? Why are you still talking about? How much has Boots talked about you guys? Right? He tried to make a fight with you guys. He said that you guys turned down an opportunity. He had some counter offers sent your way. You said the counter offers were beneath what you were trying to do. He's moved on. He's now dealing with whether he's going to be going out to Germany to go defend his IBF title or whether he's going to be vacating to go ahead and make moves at 154. You're the WBO champion in the welterweight division. It would make more sense for me to hear you bring up Mario Barrios, Stanionis, or even the fighter you're fighting on November 8th on a Friday undercard. That would seem to be legitimately who you should be talking about, but you're sitting here still having, big conversations, right? However, hundreds of people inside of a chat while you're at this point kicking Jerron Boots Ennis's back in, knowing you ain't going to fight him.
That's fair.
I just think respectfully, brother. Respectfully.
No, and I get what you're saying. Like, if it's not happening, just drop it now. It's over. You know what I'm saying? You got a relationship with these guys, right? He says he has a relationship with Bozy, that he respects them, that this is just boxing talk. You know what I mean? You went and said that. That's what he said. He even apologized on me, like, I gotta apologize to Bozy. I really shouldn't have came over that way. It's just that these fans be getting on my nerves. Okay, you said that. Now you're still going. The fight is in the past, and you're still kicking his boxing. You want to say he punches soft? What? Yeah, I think my thing is that I think it's more directed towards Eddie Hearn than it is Tank. I mean, Boots. He don't like NHD production. What's up, family? Ty said Blue is a fanboy. I am. Great Gambino, Antonio MMA. What's up? So I think that it's
Yeah, Antonio MMA. Shout out Antonio MMA. Is Boots and Bozy attacking his son, or is the boxing space attacking his son? I thought that Brian Norman Sr. made it clear that he shouldn't be directing the heat towards that family because they're not the ones doing it. That's what I heard him say a few days ago. I don't know. I might be out the loop. Maybe Boots has been on social media attacking Brian Norman. Maybe Bozy has been. I haven't seen them do that. So I hear you saying they're attacking his son, but what does that have to do with discrediting Jerron Boots Ennis's ability to compete with you? Why?
Yeah, this boxing space is interesting, isn't it?
Very interesting. Very interesting. But as long as there's a fight that's in dispute, as long as there's a fight that's getting ready to happen, I'm all with it. Talk. Get it in. But if there ain't no fight happening, what are we talking about? And in this case, there's no fight happening. So where are we at with it? Talk about Eddie Hearn. Isn't that who you blamed? Those shots at Eddie. Those shots at the fans. But why are you coming at Jerron and Bozy and what they've accomplished and where they're at in their career? I don't know. I wouldn't mind if they would fight. Let's fight. Let's fight. Put the fight together. How about that? Put the fight together. Concede on your side. Boots concedes on his side. Let's you guys meet 250K apiece and make the fight happen and make us fans of boxing super excited to see you guys fight. But don't just be talking just to be talking, man, because now it just looks like it's cringy now at this point.
I see your angle. I see your point. I just personally think it's like showing proof of the receipts when Eddie is doing making any mistakes, as far as the negotiations and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So I think it's more so he's angry with Eddie Hearn trying to paint his son, because remember it's Eddie does an interview here, he gonna address it, you know what I'm saying, and painting it as if they was ducking, you know what I mean?
100%.
And then losing the purse bid looks it's nasty work. Rayful Bennett, what's up, family? That's just, to me, that purse bid situation is just nasty work, man. Nasty work. Now let me ask you this question though, right? What would be Errol's angle should he beat Vergil Ortiz? Because if Terence Crawford beats Fundora, he's not going to fight Errol Spence. He's going to fight Tim Tszyu Fundora winner.
Right, he's going to unify.
Tim Tszyu,
Macron.
Yeah.
Background. I'm sorry. Yeah, background.
Right.
What does he do? Errol needs to find himself into some sort of title contention. If he beats Vergil Ortiz, then he has a mandatory that he can activate with the WBC.
Right.
It looks like Mauricio Sulaiman is kind of like trying to bring those two guys back together again, because you have to ask yourself, why did Mauricio go ahead and put him in recess at 147 and make him a mandatory for the WBC title? It looks like, so one could argue that they're trying to position Terence Crawford and Errol Spence into a collision course of some sort, right? That they're assuming Errol is able to get through Sebastian Fundora and giving him the best opportunity to get a title, so we can see some unification fights potentially that involve Terence and Errol again. So if Errol is able to beat Vergil Ortiz, then he can maybe activate a mandatory. If Mauricio Sulaiman gets involved in the conversation in any kind of way, then we might be able to see something like that. But if he's not going to be able to be a mandatory, which I wonder, I'll be honest with you, now that I think about it, Terence will be the mandatory. So that mandatory is like 18 months, right? From the time it gets defended. So yeah, Errol has to get into a conversation of fighting against the winner between a Tim Tszyu and a Backroom, which he can do because he's PBC, right? I can see Al Heyman and Leonard Ellaby, those guys, cutting corners and making it happen and putting Errol Spence in front of a Tim Tszyu, or the winner between Tim Tszyu and Backroom. He needs to get a title, though, to get in the way of Terence Crawford, because Terence Crawford is a focused man who's on his way out the door. He's only here for legacy and money. And there's money fighting Errol, but that unified, that undisputed 3-weight class undisputed championship has got to be quite an attractive thing, especially when you got Turkey who's willing to pay you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
How about Errol and Boots? How about Turkey trying to put Errol and Boots together on a Riyadh card after Errol's beat Vergil Ortiz?
Do you think
and Boots beats Madrimov?
Is Errol, that would be good, but is Errol chasing belts, or is he chasing just fights overall?
Truth, you're right.
Right,
you're right.
That's kind of, it's pointless, right? It doesn't serve a purpose.
You're right. Yep. Yeah, Boots is going to be interesting to see how he comes into 154. How to roll out for him is at 154, because he has a lot of adversity waiting up there for him. A lot of PBC fighters up there. He has a lot. The only thing I'm questioning and I'm wondering what it's going to look like is it has Turki Alalshikh's communication with the PBC representatives potentially built some bridges that allow him to use his resources to facilitate some big fights on the Riyadh cards, because I don't think Eddie Hearn can really help Boots do what he wants to do at 154. He's a marked man. Nobody wants to work with Eddie Hearn from PBC, from what I could tell. But Turkey's been having these conversations with the representation at the PBC, and from what he said last time I heard from Turkey, he was saying that he was very happy with the way the conversations went, that he plans on doing big things with the PBC. I wonder if any of those things that he has access to now help him bridge some sort of negotiation space to get Boots involved in it and put him in some big fights at 154.
Vega, the head buster, my brother in the super chat. Much love. He said, question, Boots hits harder than Bud. Then he
Yeah, he's probably responding to me because I said that Boots, any given Sunday. I don't know who hits harder, bro. I don't know when it comes to that conversation. How do I know? I don't know. I'm just saying Boots definitely hits hard though.
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken to people that have sparred both Brian Norman. You know what I mean? And I've spoken to many people, and it's all in the delivery, I think. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the delivery. Boots is more flashy. Crawford is more precision, right?
Right. I would say so. Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's it all depends, and speed equal power on top of that.
Yeah.
So, I think it all depends. Vega, the headbuster, Brack in the super chat. He said, Boots, pardon my typo, great brother. No, I understood what you were saying.
100%.
Grunge Truck said, can Crawford carry that power to 154? He did. We saw when he fought against when he fought against Madrimov, he hurt Madrimov in the 11th round badly, and that was body punches. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe that Terence Crawford, for sure, his power is going to carry, and that was his first fight against a durable fighter, a true 54-pounder, and that was his first fight at 154. Once he gets acclimated, should he stay active in the division, yeah, I think it's definitely going to show up.
Yo, shout out to Hal Smith, bro. You know what I mean? I don't know about that soft talk that you're saying I'm talking about. I'm talking about make a fight. I'm talking about if there's no fight, what are we talking about? Boots Ennis is arguably leaving 147. So what fan is he firing? Where's this big fight at? If the fight was there to be made, why isn't it made right now? I don't know about soft talk, brother. I don't know if that's what I would call it. I would definitely call it, if we're not fighting, what are we talking about? And keeping in mind, between two people who supposedly have respect for each other, Boots Ennis is he's inside of a purse bid right now to fight Karen Kukudajin because Brian Norman Sr. and his team decided that there wasn't enough money inside of the offer to make that fight happen. I respect it. That's what's up. There wasn't enough. But at the same time, what comes with it is there is no fight. So what are we talking about? Fan what fire? What fire do you see getting fanned? Boots is inside of a purse bid to fight in Germany, and he has a fight already lined up on the undercard of Keyshawn Davis. What fire are we fanning? I think you're being delusional and just using your keyboard to be tough online about something that doesn't even exist. You know what I mean? There's no fight, brother. There's no fight, brother. There's no fight.
G tatted up nephew. He said, Unc, how you really feel about the guy's opinion who had up there? You talking about round one. He said it's when he said we don't need to fight our countrymen until saving them to last. I agree with him. The problem with that is that we have an embarrassment of riches, so we overlap each other. So eventually, it gets to a point where we just got to fight each other. You know what I'm saying? For instance, to give you an example, at 135, you have Shakur, Keyshawn Davis, Andy Cruz, and Tank at 135. The only other fighters there is Lomachenko and Dennis Berinci. So only two of them can fight two of them. So let's say Tank was to fight Loma and Shakur was to fight Dennis Berinci. Well, what are we doing with Keyshawn and Andy Cruz?
Right.
You understand? So it comes a point where you understand, like, I agree with what he's saying, and I agree with that stance wholeheartedly. But we have an embarrassment of riches. So we overlap each other. Somebody has to fight each other. It just comes a point where our fighters have to fight each other.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? We in certain divisions we can be like, all right, we'll save each other to last, right? But also, too, on the flip side of that is that our divisions we're so deep in all these divisions that it's an embarrassment of riches again. You know what I'm saying? At welterweight, we had Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, you know, Danny Garcia. These are all our fighters.
Yeah.
Like, the only foreign fighter we had there was Kell Brook and Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where I can agree, but we have an embarrassment of riches. You know what I'm saying?
100%, Blue. That's a
So
fact.
yeah, so in certain division we can attempt that, like at 54 right now, because we got Fundora, you got Tim Zhu, you have Jesus Ramos, you have Israel Majimov and Bakram Mataliev, right? So there we can do that since we got Errol Spence, we got Terence Crawford and Lubin, Jamel Charlo, right? But also too, you got to take and Vergil Ortiz, but you got to take this into consideration. We already cornering the market with the belts. So the point is the ultimate goal is to get to the belts, and we already cornering the market with the belts. If all goes according to plan, right? Terence Crawford will be elevated to the unified champion, right? If Fundora don't take the fight. If he do take the fight and Terence Crawford wins, he'll be a 3-belt holder. It's really cornered. The market is really cornered, right? Let's say Fundora don't do it, or Errol Spence beats Fundora. Well, then it's still only 2 fights.
Right.
It's still only 2 fights left. You know what I mean? So only one of them going to fight the winner of Tim Zhu versus Bakram Mataliev. Outside of that, they're going to have to fight each other. They're right back to square one, each other. Brandon McGee, brother in the super chat, dropping that cinco on us in the super chat. He said, when was the last time you remember matchups being this hard to make happen in boxing? Oh, it's always been that way. Don't be fooled by yesteryear. Don't be fooled by yesteryear. You know how long it took Sugar Ray Leonard to fight Tommy Hearns and to fight Hagler? It was dragged out. Don't let them tell you and try to convince you that because we have social media, oh, Sugar Ray Leonard was dragging it, baby. I mean, Tommy Hearns, Clay can attest to this. Tommy Hearns was getting him and Manuel Stewart. They wasn't happy campers, bro. They was like, this dude is dancing around the fight. Remember, they started petitioning to tell the fans, bro, Sugar Ray Leonard is ducking.
Put the pressure on, Put the pressure on this guy, man.
Put the pressure on Sugar Ray Leonard, man. This dude is ducking us. You know what I'm saying? LaJessica, peace of blessings, Queen. You know what I'm saying? Put that pressure on Sugar Ray Leonard, man. This dude ain't trying to fight us. You know what I'm saying? Even Roberto Duran was that way. Remember, he was like, Sugar Ray Leonard ain't trying to fight nobody. You know what I mean? So, and then we know what Sugar Ray Leonard and Hagler situation, how that played out, and the Sugar Ray Leonard Aaron Pryor. Now, Kurt had informed me and put me on to some info that I wasn't privy to, is that Aaron Pryor team actually, I don't know if you're aware of this, Clay, but Aaron Pryor's team had turned down the offer that Sugar Ray Leonard sent without telling Aaron Pryor, bro. He was unaware.
That happens, right?
Yeah, he was unaware, and he was not a happy camper. Once he found out.
Why did they turn it down?
The money, they felt the money was low, but Aaron Pryor was like, who are you to tell me the money was low without telling me? You know what I'm saying? You supposed to run that past me. Not go behind. They never told him, bro. They never ran it across him or nothing. They turned it down. And Sugar Ray Leonard was of the mindset, obviously, that Aaron Pryor turned it down.
Right.
But Aaron Pryor never even knew about it, bro, until it was over. And if I'm not mistaken, Kurt ain't here no more. But if I'm not mistaken, because Kurt knew Aaron Pryor's people, And if I'm not mistaken, it was Sugar Ray Leonard that told him or showed him something like that. He was not aware, bro. And the Hawk, he wanted that fight. He wholeheartedly believed he was going to beat Sugar Ray Leonard. Wholeheartedly, you know what I mean? Hayden Harradine, what's up, family? So I mean, this ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? There was a time when Holyfield was saying Tyson was ducking him. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when Riddick Bowe, when Riddick used to be stalking Lennox. Was it Lennox Lewis?
No, Lennox Lewis stalking him.
Yeah, exactly. The other way around. Was stalking him. And that fight never even, you know what I'm saying, came together.
Even that, Clay. Check this out. Capadon 24, what's up? They had a deal in place. Did you know that?
That Lennox and Riddick had a deal in place? Was that when Riddick dumped the title?
No, before he dumped the title. The Hurt Business, what's up, family? They had a deal in place, and then, if I'm not mistaken, Riddick Bowe lost. They had everything was already similar to the Wilder Joshua situation. If I'm not mistaken, I wish Kurt was here, man. But Riddick Bowe either lost or Lennox Lewis lost. It might have been when Lennox Lewis got knocked out by McCall, something like that. Yep. I can't remember. I want to ask Lennox, man. But there was a deal in place. They had agreed and everything to fight, and then it went to shambles. Yep. That's boxing. So don't get it twisted. And then we go to Floyd Mayweather.
Damn, stomach cramp. 81. Is that an 18?
And then we go to you need coconut water, great brother.
See that cramp I got my stomach bending over?
Yeah.
I need that hydration.
You need coconut water.
Yeah, I know that coconut water is supposed to be like super hydrating, right?
Yeah, I drink
drink
8 ounces every morning.
My bad. I got some Chinese food that's got delivered to the. Kids brought me the. Here you go. Exactly. Thanks. Sorry about that. Yeah, man. Horrible, bro. I just bent over to pick up the slip and I caught a cramp in my stomach. I'm like, dang.
Yeah. You get your coconut water, man. It's the best. I drink 8 ounces every morning. Phantom Flight 101. What's up? So, and then we had the Floyd Mayweather era where, in Floyd Mayweather era, we know there was nothing but ducking going on around there. They was playing duck, duck, goose like no other.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's always been part of the game. You know what I mean? I think us being exposed to social media like this just puts us right in the middle of these conversations. So it's just like, what is going on? What is going on? Why can't we make any of these fights happen? But I'll tell you guys this though, I do believe that with all these different promotional outfits out in the game right now, I think it does add another layer of adversity, right? It adds another layer of issues in making the fight, just more issues now, especially with these promoters able to, you know, put a lot of these fights on in-house. It's pulling teeth to get these guys across the street, which is why, of course, Turki, Turki's presence does, bring some hope into the game a little bit, but eventually Turki will be in the same conversation. They'll all be doing the same thing eventually. He's just trying to build his name up right now, so he's a lot more motivated to build bridges. But once he gets his teeth in it and gets his control, I'm sure we're going to be right back at it again because money just does that.
And the thing with Turki is, the difference with Turki is that Turki don't. I don't think he'll ever be in that boat because I don't think that he have a dog in the race. He just as a fan, you know what I mean?
But what happens when he makes because he has a goal he's trying to achieve, right? I mean, there's the one goal is make boxing great, right? He's like on his Donald Trump, make boxing great again. But there's a bigger picture, right? We know that Turki Alalshikh is trying to this is also a movement in making Saudi Arabia a hub for the biggest events in the world when it comes to sports. So what happens when he actually accomplishes that in some way and he has some sort of I don't want to say he monopolizes because I don't think he'll monopolize it. I don't think he'll do that. But once he gets what he's looking for, is he going to keep this same energy, or is this just a temporary era of boxing that we're dealing with as we're seeing this mega billionaire investment getting made by, you know, billionaires and trillionaires alike, just trying to achieve a goal? What happens at that point? What does he do?
I actually think he just gets out of boxing.
You think he gets out? It seems like he's trying to stay. It seems like he's trying to take the control of it. He wants to control boxing. He gets out, you think?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly believe he gets out. Remember, Turkey is dealing with health issues on top of it. I think that he wants to.
Yeah, he does have the cancer. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, you know, he wants to, you know, structure the sport of boxing. He wants to leave a mark in the sport of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to leave a legacy in the sport of boxing, and he ultimately wants to see the fights that he wants to see. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He wants to make the fights that he wants to make. He wants to see the fights that he wants to see, and you know, bring some change and structure and order to the sport. And like you said, he wants to, you know, he has a goal. But once he gets to the goal, I think that, you know, after a while, he'll just get out the sport. You know what I mean? Once he accomplishes what he wants to accomplish, and I'm pretty sure he wants it to get to a place where it's running on its own, and that, you know, it's operating and functioning the way he wanted to function.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, well, you know, my services is no longer needed. You know what I mean? I accomplished what I needed to accomplish, and now at this point, you know, what's up, Shorty? Now you can step away.
You don't think that this is an assignment that's been put on him by the Prince and the King of Saudi Arabia? You don't think they have plans on replacing Turki Alalshikh once he's expired, and continuing to have somebody represent sports? Because when you hear the Prince of Saudi Arabia speaking, I've seen him get interviewed before where he talked about the reason behind this quote unquote sports washing that everybody wants to accuse him of doing, which I guess arguably you can say that's what he's doing, because I think people try to make it tried to make it taboo that Turki Alalshikh has ulterior motives, has personal motives that involve the betterment of Saudi Arabia, right? They have a hard time saying that without it being like, oh man, he's not coming here just to save boxing. I have no problem admitting that. Of course he's not here just to save boxing. He's here to do a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? But in the process of trying to make Saudi Arabia and Riyadh a center hub for the biggest sports events, he can save boxing on that journey. That's part of it. So after Saudi Arabia, because Turkey's not investing his money into this process, he's investing money from Saudi Arabia. That's who's paying for this, and Saudi Arabia is investing into boxing through Turkey. Turkey's just a sports czar or ambassador of the country, whatever the name is that probably describes his position with the royal family. So why would they allow him to invest their money the way he's investing their money, and then on his deathbed allow this to just go to rest? I think it's more reasonable that they would hold on to it. Why invest this much resources into something just to let it go after you've built it up to a certain point to where it's doing what it's supposed to be doing?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that, you know, once he structures it and does what he needs to do, he himself will step away. Now, right. It might be a board or a plan, whatever in position, you know. That's why I said, like, to keep it functioning where he left off. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I think his involvement and the direct involvement will be something similar to like Al Heyman, where you won't see him, hear from him, nothing. It'll just be.
I agree.
Yep. You know what I'm saying? Operating in the shadows. You know what I mean?
But will Saudi Arabia as an entity that's now at this point, if it goes Turkey's way, if this turns out the way Turkey expects it to turn out, then Saudi Arabia would have a big stake in boxing. So once they get their control and their credibility, and they're able to move the needle themselves, are they just going to fall in line with the business model that got us here in the first place, or are they going to just continue with this same energy to all the way through to where us as fans, we get to benefit from these great fights being made and these big events getting made, and this cross promotion happening and all the great things that we celebrate his influence to give us? Does that continue, or does he fall in line with profitability again, cherry picking, protective custody, certain fighters, all the knockout guys get all the perfectly stylistic fights that give us the knockouts? Does he start to feed the algorithm again? You know what I'm saying? Does he start to feed the algorithm again, like these promoters have become accustomed to doing, or does he keep it tough, keep it competitive, and keep it exciting for boxing fans? Time will tell, obviously, but
Yeah, I think they'll get to a point where if once they made their mark, once they made their announcement to the sport, and people recognize them as a player in the sport of boxing, they may just take their ball and go home. And what I mean by that is stage fights over in Saudi Arabia. Now it has been established as a place for boxing to be had. You know what I'm saying? And now at that point, now they just, if you bring it over here, you bring it over here. You know what I'm saying? Something similar to like the sanction, not the sanction bodies, the boxing commissions. You know what I'm saying? New York has their way of doing it. California has their way of doing it. You understand what I'm saying? Like they'll just operate on. I think they'll get to the point where that's why I think he's trying to bring everybody together, where it's a umbrella they all operate under, but his involvement can be different from somebody else that replaces him down the line. Their outlook could be completely different. You know what I'm saying? Once he steps away from the sport. So they may be like, listen, man, we don't have the patience that you have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Those things could change. And then now down the line, it's like, well, you know what? We'll just do it over here. You know what I mean? Similar to Sky Sports and the way they operate in the UK separately than the States. You know what I mean? Their pay-per-view is $25. Ours is $80. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many British fighters that come up that we haven't heard of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of British fighters don't even cross the pond. They just compete over there. And we still know who they are. We still honor who they Chris Eubank Sr. You know what I'm saying? So, we understand some people are comfortable operating that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then you have after this fight, Ben Whitaker win this fight in October. Ben Whitaker is going to headline his own card, from what I was told. Shouts out to my brother L Dub Boxing. Ben Whitaker is going to headline a card here in the States because they understand his personality, his charisma, his skill set. He can be a crossover star. Some people is just comfortable. Chris Eubanks Jr., he's more comfortable fighting over in the UK. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
More so than he came over here in the States a couple of times. He don't look comfortable here. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And so, Saudi Arabia what they can do is they can introduce the sport of boxing to their fighters over there. You know what I'm saying? And now you start on a legacy in the history of fighters from over there, like in the UK. You know what I mean?
Right.
They may cross the pond. They may come to the States and fight. You know what I mean? They may not. You know what I mean? But once they make a name for themselves and they create a foundation, and people are willing to go over there. They're changing the outlook of it. You know what I mean? So I think that eventually Turkey is just, you know what I mean? Like, I believe it's his goal and his dream and his passion that they even in the sport to begin with.
Yeah. No, I definitely you could definitely see the passion in Turkey when it comes to his boxing. You can see he's having a good time, and he's just like that. It's kind of like he's the first wave, and that first wave is always, it's like that. It's like music. That first album is always the best album. You know what I'm saying? Because all the passion's in it, all the hunger's in it, and the music is just like, damn, that first album, man. And then you get around the fourth album, and all of a sudden they start tapping into the algorithm. They start hitting you with the little commercial hits, but the bars start to get less sustenance, less, you know what I'm saying? They're not as intricate as they used to be. And you know, now I'm selling you singles. I'm a singles guy. You know what I mean? Pick up my single, $2.99 here, $2.99. No more complete albums, because why do I need to give albums when I can make just as much money from the singles? Now we start to reason and become more intelligent about the business that we're in, and we start to realize that packing out a card with 8 mega fights or 5 mega fights isn't needed. We just need to give you the main event, a decent co-main event, and the rest of the fight could be snickle fritz, you know what I'm saying? And we're still going to make our money and sell pay-per-views for whatever we're selling it for. Because I'm on board right now with Turki. Turkey's talking about lowering the pay-per-view fights down to like $20 or 15. I don't know what the number is, but I can't wait. I can't wait to spend a hard-earned 20 on a packed card. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for it.
And
but
that goes back to what I was saying. Like, you know, he's going to look to create a foundation that he leaves behind. You understand what I'm saying? And hope that it operate and functions on its own. You know what I'm saying? If he can create a foundation that, you know, pay-per-views is from now on, the model that he set forth is working, and it's $20 here going on out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And it might last, it might not. You know what I'm saying? He can make, I mean, think about it, right? This whole model that we going off of is Floyd Mayweather model today's time.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? The pay-per-view and we worrying about gates, and Floyd made that popular. Ain't nobody was talking about gates and pay-per-views.
We didn't give a damn, man. We didn't give a damn. I never even knew about it.
Nobody cared about what Mike Tyson pay-per-view numbers was. What his gate was.
Never even questioned it. You just assumed the whole world was watching it. What did you care? It could have been nobody to the whole entire planet. What did you care? Either way, as long as it came in clear on my television, when, you know, shout out to the SD TVs, you know what I'm saying? When we was watching, when SD was the HD, you know what I mean? We was watching in our living rooms. Now we care. When we're watching football, basketball, I never be questioning what these dudes is making, bro. I just want to see a good game, bro. Like, I never thought about these athletes' money that they're receiving like that to affect me personally, like how people are affected personally with how boxers are being paid and their pay-per-views and whatnot. My
point exactly, man. Yep. G, chat it up, nephew, in the super chat. We're gonna get this last one and get out of here, Clay, because we started a whole hour and a half late, man.
Yeah. And I gotta go up a little later too, so for sure.
Yeah, and we ain't gonna hit out usually 3 hour mark. We'll hit it tomorrow.
For sure.
Salute to G, chat it up, nephew, in the super chat. He said, check my last comment. I read it. He said, what do we feel about fighters being friends with other fighters? This is nothing new either.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why Mike Tyson had that famous quote that he said, if you truly my friend, you'll fight me so I could eat.
Come feed me if you my friend. Shout out to Mike Tyson with the quotables.
Yeah. So this is nothing new either, because there was friendships back then. It's just like Clay said, and we're saying social media has highlighted these things. There was no social media then, so now we're getting a direct look into their backyard compared to yesteryear. We didn't have that ability to do that. You know what I'm saying? But that famous quote came out from Mike Tyson because of friendships, and he's like, "You truly my friend, you'll fight me, so we could break bread." That's where that came from. You know,
help me feed my family, straight up. Millions and millions of dollars. You ain't gonna fight me. Who you gonna get that millions to? The other guy? Oh, we ain't friends. I thought we were cooler than that. You know what I'm saying?
So that's where that comes from. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, let's get on out of here, man.
No doubt. Yo, look. Salute to everybody in the building. I appreciate Blue. Thanks for having me up here. Shout out to everybody in the building. We loving this boxing. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Hit your likes and your comments. Thank you guys, man. Till the next time. Till tomorrow, man.
And I'm gonna put the link to my new channel in the chat. Go support that channel, man. Let's get that channel all the way up, man. I'm gonna put the link to that channel in the chat. I forget. I gotta start putting that in the beginning, man.
In the beginning, like you used to do on the top.
Yeah, because I be completely forgetting now, bro.
Miss Karma used to make sure them things was there.
Yeah,
Shout out to Karma's Green.
She was on her P's and Q's.
Yeah.
P's, Q's, A, B's, and C's.
Handling all the loose ends.
Mm-hmm. So
Oh, thank you, Cross Life. That'd be great, Blue. Hurry up and get a Fox show so I can get out this damn truck, bro. I'll be loving to do this every single day like you guys do it, man. Petition that Cross Life. Get the petition going, bro. Get the petition going, bro.
Yeah, we could, yeah, man. We you know, a deal is needed. You know what I'm saying?
Something nice.
Folks,
Barstool. Stop being soft, man.
A deal is needed. You know what I'm saying? Barstools, man. Get some real boxing content creators.
Come on, man.
That talk is real boxing, man.
I'm trying to shed a tear. You know what I mean? Let me get a check. Make me shed a tear, man. Make me shed a tear. I'm trying to shed one, bro.
Yeah. They go to link to the new channel, man. Subscribe to the new channel. Click the link and subscribe to the new channel, man. The link is pinned up right there in the chat. Let's get that new channel all the way up, man. Let's subscribe to the new channel. Let's get it all the way up.
Early.
So y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Follow my brother Claymore Rain. Click the link and subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain. The link is in the chat. We will be on time tomorrow. I had some technical issues going on and the kids' first day of school. So it was a lot going on, man. So tomorrow we'll be back on time, man. So make sure y'all click the link. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Me and my brother Claymore Rain, we will be back on time tomorrow, man. We appreciate y'all. Brandon McGee, my brother in the super chat. Much love, family.
Yup, Brandon. It sure did.
Yeah, he said that money and the fame ruined the Charlo brothers. Yeah, bro. It seems it, right? Like Charlo career.
I mean, what they say, money just exposes who you really are, right? So they were bound to be in these issues anyway.
Facts.
But
all facts.
You know,
I just said that the other day. Somebody said, matter of fact, Dimitri Bivol wife had said that she's rooting for Canelo. She wants the fans to root for Canelo to beat Bivol in the rematch because the money. Once he got the money with Canelo, then the fame got to his head. And I said, she lying because money didn't change him. He was who he was before he got that money.
Right.
You saw the signs before he got the money. All it
100%.
did was enhance who he was.
That's fact. Just let the beast loose. You know what I mean? People stay contained and they stay in their lane when they have a goal to accomplish. Once that goal is accomplished and they feel like it don't matter one way or another, listen, man, shout out to the Charlo brothers. Respectfully, you know, I mean, I respect all these boxers, but we seen what you was about when you fought Canelo, right?
Not
was about the bag.
Not only that, Clay, but not only that, but you got to factor in this too, Clay. You know, when you don't have money, you don't have security. Once you get money, you get security. You feel like you can truly be who you are.
Yep.
You don't need nobody now.
Big facts, brother.
That
is real.
That's the difference, right?
Wait till I get money. I'm gonna show y'all my true colors. Get ready. I ain't playing with y'all. Don't y'all walk up on me out here in these streets when I get some money, bro. I don't sign autographs. Anything costs money, bro. My time is money, brother. What are you doing in front of me? I got places to be, brother. What is this? Where's my security at? I'm about to fire everybody, bro. How did this peon get up on me, bro?
You ain't right, bro.
Salute you guys. Love you guys, man. Never that, man. All right, family.
Oh, God, man.